Ielts Classic Listening Conversation Test 5. Instructions 1. You will listen to an audio recording of all sections of this test and answer questions on what you hear. 2. You will have some time to look at the questions before listening to the audio recording of that section or subsection. 3. The audio will start playing immediately after familiarizing yourself with section questions. 4. You will be answering questions as you listen to the audio because it will be played only once. 5. Immediately after the audio recording for all sections, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. Section 1. You will hear a conversation between a prospective guest house customer and a receptionist where the former is finding out about booking for accommodation. First, you will have 15 seconds to look at questions 1 to 6. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays. Guest house accommodation.
Good afternoon, madam.
Good afternoon too. Welcome to the guest house. How can I help you?
We've just driven up from Machakos County, and we're going to stay here in Central Region for 3 days. We wish to book 3 rooms to stay from next Wednesday.
Okay, sir. How many nights are you planning to stay for?
We'll be leaving on Saturday morning. So, let me see, that's 3 nights.
And you said 3 rooms. Who are the rooms for?
I'm here with my wife and 4 children. They are 4, 6, 9, and 11 years old. The eldest has just had his birthday. So, we'd like 2 twin rooms for the kids and 1 double for my wife and me.
Okay, well, we've got 3 rooms available, all en suite.
Great. How much are they per night?
Let me see, 1 twin room costs 15,000 Kenya shillings per night, and the double room costs 20,000 Kenya shillings per night.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. So, what is the total for 3 nights?
Let me check, that will be a total of 105,000 Kenya shillings.
And that includes everything?
Yes, that price includes tax.
Can I pay by M-Pesa?
Yes, sure. You can pay for the other nights when you leave, but you need to pay for the first night now. If you wish, you can pay for all nights.
I think I'll just pay for everything now.
Okay, that's fine. I will require some details from you so that I can process your booking. Can you give me your full name?
Yes, it's Joseph Kialo. That's K-Y-A-L-O.
What's your date of birth, please?
The 22nd of October 1964.
The 2nd of October 1964.
No, the 22nd.
Oh, okay, sorry. And can you give me your address?
Sure. It's 1968 Machakos, Kenya.
Do you have the postcode?
Yes. It is 94613.
And your telephone number?
My mobile number is, hold on, just let me check, I can never remember it overhead. Here it is, it's +254 72 83 45 13 2.
Okay, the rooms are set aside for you.
Thank you for the welcome and courtesy.
Before you listen to the rest of the conversation, take 15 seconds to look at questions 7 to 10. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
I know we're a bit out of town here. Can you give me some information about getting into the city center?
You could drive in, but the parking is not great in town. It's quite expensive if you will stay there all day, and getting a space it's difficult.
Yes, we're thinking of going to look around some of the shops, and to look at the malls around the city, so we'll probably be there most of the day.
In that case, you are probably best to take a taxi or a motorbike.
How much is a taxi?
Within the town, it will be about 5,000 Kenya shillings. No, I'd say it's 7,000 Kenya shillings per ride. Fuel costs have increased recently. We can book it here for you, and it will pick you up from the guest house at your convenient time.
How long do I need to wait before it arrives for pickup?
Oh. It usually takes about 15 minutes under normal traffic and weather conditions.
Right, that sounds impressive. What about the motorbike rides?
A motorbike ride within will cost you 500 Kenya shillings per person and usually takes about 10 minutes to wait before arrival. And you can be picked up by the pavement opposite the guest house.
It is a convenient means of transport over here. It could be faster too.
Or you could go on foot if you like. In that case you incur no cost. You can take the shortest route through Parliament Road, which is a 1 hour's walk from the guest house.
Can I still use my personal car if I so wish to incur fueling cost?
Absolutely yes. Why not? There are several road alternatives. You can take the shortest route through University Avenue, though not the very best due to congestion. To escape traffic, use City Road, which is a bit longer and might take about 45 minutes to the city center.
Thank you for the information. I am now adequately informed.
Thanks for booking with us, and feel free to ask for any guidance and support. We are proud to have you make our guest house your first choice.
That is the end of section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers for questions 1 to 10. Section 2. You will hear the Regional Director of Artesia Connections talking to a group of university students about volunteering opportunities with the company. First, you will have 15 seconds to look at questions 11 to 15. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Volunteering at Artesia Connections. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for coming today and for your interest in volunteering at Artesia Connections. For those that don't know much about our company, Artesia Connections, let me start by telling you a bit more. Artesia Connections is one of the largest volunteer Africa organizations in Eastern Africa. The company was founded in 2007. In 2010, the company grew by merging with another company, Edinet Visions of Central Africa Republic, making us even larger. In 2014 we sent 1,000 volunteers to West Africa on a variety of service projects and internships, more than any other company. We are proud to be associated with this volunteering mission. All participants receive the most effective support from our regular, skilled employees to make sure that the expertise is safe, worthwhile, and fun. We have several full-fledged employees operating for us. We have around 200 full-time staff members, many of whom are former volunteers themselves, inspired by their own experience. Some of these people are even part of the first teams of volunteers back within the early 80s. About 75 of those staff are not located in Kenya at all and spend their whole time in another country supporting the volunteers. They are experts on the local communities they are working in, having spent their whole lives there. They have huge experience in fields like community development or education. The times that volunteers join the program vary. Some join in September because they have just finished studying at college or university and want to do some volunteering before they move on to work or further study. However, there aren't any set beginning dates and programs run ceaselessly throughout the year, and most volunteers begin once it's best for them. Artesia Connections is an entirely independent organization that does not receive any funding from religious bodies, political parties, development organizations, or other sources. And in fact, we tend not to request the cash from our partner organizations within the developing world. All our work is 100% financed from side to side by your contributions as an unpaid worker. We do get help from the government, though not direct contributions but in form of reduced business taxes. It is this financial independence that offers us the liberty to set up projects wherever we reflect it may be useful and where we consider that our volunteers can make a valued input.
Before you listen to the rest of the conversation, take 15 seconds to look at questions 16 to 20. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Now I'm going to discuss with you a lot of fashionable opportunities in more details. One of the foremost fashionable volunteering selections is teaching. You'll notice a heat welcome awaits you from our students around the world. The main thing you will do is assist with English conversation. Although the local teachers are very capable of teaching the structural aspects of the English language, such as grammar, they do not use the right intonation, because they lack the confidence of a native speaker. By providing informal English teaching, you'll greatly enhance the educational expertise of thousands of kids and adults with whom we tend to add to the developing world. You'll additionally volunteer in agriculture and farming. Access to safe and healthy food may be a major concern of any society. Volunteers work on a farm to promote sustainable local food sources, and responsible farming using pesticides and alternative harmful agricultural techniques will have a long-run negative impact on the surroundings and threaten the long-run well-being of the whole region. Artesia Connections agriculture and farming projects focus on organic farming practices and educating local communities on their benefits. You could conjointly volunteer within the field of medical specialists. If you do that, you will be working alongside a vet in a local veterinary practice. You will facilitate the vet once people usher in sick animals or be a part of the vet on visits to people's homes or alternative places. You will gain fantastic insight that may not be doable in your own country. You're seeming to check several exciting kinds of animals like snakes, huge cats, or perhaps elephants. And you will develop an improved understanding of the problems people are facing within each urban and rural area of the third world. So, I hope that has helped you to learn a bit more about Artesia Connections. You are highly welcome to volunteer with us and gain substantial experience and exposure across the continents.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers for questions 11 to 20. Section 3. You will hear a prospective student and the Dean of Students discussing admission to a master's degree in education at Highbridge University. First, you will have 15 seconds to look at questions 21 to 24. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays. Admission to Masters in Education.
Good morning, sir. I am Susan Tembo. I wish to pursue further studies at this university.
Good morning, Susan. Welcome to Highbridge University.
I'm looking for some advice about enrollment into a master's degree in education.
Yes, my name's Basire. I'm the Dean, Faculty Education and Extramural Studies at this university. Welcome and feel at home. I will help as much as I can.
Thank you, sir.
So how can I help you?
Well, I've seen the university prospectus for the course. However, I'm still a bit confused about a couple of things regarding the course. Some of my friends advised me to search online for clarification, but I thought coming over could be a best option.
What's your situation now? Are you working?
Yes, I've been working as a teacher for a public secondary school for the last 5 years.
Okay, that's useful if you want to do the course. What is your inspiration to do additional learning?
I enjoy my job a lot now, but I feel the opportunities for promotion are quite limited without a master's degree. I do acknowledge that employers prefer to see someone with postgraduate qualifications these days.
And are you intending to study full-time?
Well, I'd like to keep working as I need some income. What are my choices if I would like to figure them out while studying?
You could do certain modules over several years you like. It's up to you regarding how many you do. You get credits for the ones you complete. Students typically do the master in 18 months up till 4 years. If you needed a hard and fast schedule and attended and did it part-time, then that will be complete of 3 years.
So, what is the admission criteria to join the course?
Well, there are a few useful but not essential things, but there are some mandatory requirements. Usually, to admit a master's individual must have a bachelor's degree. However, we tend to square measure ready to overlook this if somebody has enough work experience of more than 3 years. You must be motivated if you want to join the course as it is very demanding.
Before you listen to the rest of the conversation, take 15 seconds to look at questions 25 to 30. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
What about the costs of the course?
The fees for a year if you are studying part-time are 600,000 Kenya shillings. No sorry, they have gone up this year to 800,000 Kenya shillings. Of course, you're paying for all different living expenses.
Is there any kind of bursary or scholarship available to help with the fees?
Yes, there are options available, but you must meet the criteria to get funding. Often though the university will contact you about funding. Universities have an explicit budget obtainable to produce funds to look for the best students and provide them something if they think they will be suitable. Though not always guaranteed, it is always recommended to apply.
Where can I go to find out more about it?
The best place to look for funding information is on our university website. All the small print concerning whether you're eligible, what assistance is on supply, and how to apply is going to be there. If you can't realize the information you're searching for, please welcome back for any inquiries of give us a phone call.
How easy has it been for applicants to receive funds for studies?
It varies from individual to individual, but quite often, about 60% applicants receive regrets annually.
What are some of the causes of failed applications for funding?
Again, it varies across individuals, but most applications are thrown out because of inadequate information. Some provide fraudulent information and that deserved straight disqualification.
Can aspirants be admitted based on pending scholarship applications?
Rarely can that happen. You would have to have a firm offer in place to join the course before you'd be considered for any funding. It is imperative that you meet the basic requirements.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers for questions 21 to 30. Section 4. You will hear a talk by an expert winemaker narrating the process of vinification. First, you will have 10 seconds to look at questions 31 to 33. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Vinification process. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our state-of-the-art wine factory in this part of the county of Wine Mantle. Before we dwell on the processes involved, I wish to give a brief history, as well as the significance of wine in the society. Vineyards and vine trees originally existed in forests among other natural vegetation. Ancient wine making was identified as early as 4000 BC in Mesopotamia. Archaeological evidence of wine fermentation was discovered in 6000 BC in Georgia, USA. Greeks copied the art and spread the winemaking practice in Italy and Sicily. In Italy, the biblical wine was founded and spread across Europe and beyond. The process of making wine, defined as vinification, is a well-known old art that has improved over the years. The spiritual significance of wine is all about love and good faith among neighbors. Researchers in Europe and America associated wine drinking to benefits, such as reduced cardiovascular diseases, reduced cancer of the breast, and indeed lowered rates of osteoporosis, which signified bone health. According to findings by researchers at the Extramural Medicine in Amsterdam, drinkers of wine were found to have better levels of high-density lipoproteins, which is referred as heart-friendly. Phenols, a substance found in wine, was associated with reduction in prostate cancer cells among men. Several world economies have thrived through winemaking for exports and local use. Simply explained, the process is more of a natural flow than an artificial interference. To start with, winemaking is majorly a natural process, with minimal human interference like the interferences we see in other processes like baking and cooking. Through a natural sequence, several types of wines have been known, the difference between them all being the degree to which human interference is employed or excluded. There are 5 definite steps that follow each other in sequence.
Before you listen to the rest of the conversation, take 20 seconds to look at questions 34 to 40. Listen carefully and answer the questions as the audio plays.
Picking grapes from the plantation is usually a heavy task and constitutes the first major step for both white and red wines. That is the harvesting. Full maturity is essential, and for more refined results, exposure to the sun is recommended for excessive moisture loss, and the latter can be hastened by use of beneficent mold. Thin, low-alcohol wine results from premature harvesting, whereas high-alcoholic with low-acid wine results from late harvesting. Mechanical harvesting can be too rough on the grapes and the vineyard, thus prompting many farmers to prefer hand harvesting. Sorting is an important step which ensures rotten and underripe grapes are removed, for they will spoil the wine. The sorted grapes are mechanically pressed, resulting into fresh juice containing seeds, grape skins, and solids. An alternative pathway is to let grapes whole so to allow the onset of fermentation to burst the skins of the grapes before pressing the uncrushed clusters. For red wine, this mixture is left together so the juice to get extra color, flavor, and tannins. For the white wine pathway, must is quickly pressed after crushing to separate the juice from the seeds, skins, and solids. This second step is therefore the defining moment for the type of wine to be decided. For fermentation to take place, there are 2 pathways. First, it takes place with the help of wild yeast naturally present in the air. Or else, the wild yeast is destroyed, and a preferred strain of yeast is introduced. Fermentation usually kicks off after 6 to 12 hours and culminates in ensuring all sugars are converted to alcohol, the dry wine. If all the sugar is left to convert, it results into bitter wine. If fermentation is stopped before all sugar converts, it becomes sweet wine. The clarification stage of winemaking is performed to ensure the solids are left in the fermenting tank, and the clear wine is removed carefully. 3 methods are used, including filtration, siphoning, and fining. Fining involves adding substances that help precipitate dead yeast cells and other solids out of wine. Egg white, clay, or some special compounds can be used for this purpose. Final stage is bottling of the wine. Clarified wine is left for further aging, and can as well be bottled and left for aging in the bottles. Once bottled, the wine is packaged and ready for marketing to consumers. Ladies and gentlemen, your wine is now ready for consumption. Enjoy your white or red wine. I hope the explanation was clear and straightforward.
That is the end of test audio recordings. You now have half a minute to check your answers for questions 31 to 40. Then have 10 minutes to transfer all your answers to the answer sheet.
Thank you for trusting GLOVYNETS for your learning needs. This audio was designed and presented by the information technology experts of CLARION Technology. CLARION Technology offers services including website design, e-learning content, voiceover, animations, e-commerce solutions, mobile apps, hospital management software designs, and many exciting IT solutions. For more information, contact us on www.clarionwebmasters.com or email us on info@clarionwebmasters.com.